All right, our parts came in. These are what we have been waiting for. Okay, these are just hardware for the mounting of the spindles, because mine were like a little gold up, and of course hella ancient, so why not? They were, I don't even know how much they were, but there's the part number. And spindles. So there's two of them. Pretty sure these are not painted, so I'm gonna have to paint these. Thanks, CPP, man. Saved me a shit ton of work. Good, so I can get back to it. Okay, I just want to let you guys know a little trick. So these are 2-inch drop springs, so they don't have a shit ton of pressure on them like the stock ones do. Especially the big block ones I had on here before. There's big block and small block over there. Be careful with this shit, dude. This shit will kill you. So basically what I do is, because I'm just changing the spindle, I don't have to take it all apart. So I'm just gonna put a jack under it, and then I use the pressure of the springs to bust the nuts, so I don't have to, you said bust nut, so I don't have to use a pickle fork to rip this boot. You can hit on it and stuff. I don't really like doing that. I just use a extension and a hammer. So I put an extension here, boom. And if you have to, you can hit this one, or you can get a long extension and hit it from here. So, and then once you have these loose, then you're basically good. This one should have no pressure on it anyways. It's this one that does. As long as you have a motor in, you shouldn't have a problem doing it like this. If you don't have a motor in, doing it like this with stock springs is gonna suck. So yeah, just a little tip. So all right, back to it. Okay, so it is on. The spindle is in. The bolts are in. Of course, there's the chain. So this is what I was talking about in the last one. I put this bearing inside of that hole, and then put the big bearing, which is in there, on top of it, and then put the seal on it. So again, it had been like 10 years since I did brakes on this shit. So yes, this is the right way to do it. So you put the big bearing in, you put the seal on, then you put the rotor on, then you put that on, then you'll put, it's like a little, I got a new one, but you'll put that on. You see how it got a little tang lines up, and then there's a nut, a castle nut, and then there's a cotter pin there. So super straightforward. It sounds way worse than it is. First time I did it, I was like, I don't know what to do, but my cousin had did it before, so he showed me how to do it. Yeah, I'm going to get back to it. Packing the bearings. You don't need this stupid tool where you have like a plunger tool. You just hold your hand inside the bearing. There's a little cavity. So there's the inside housing, the outside housing. The bearings are in the center. There's a cavity around the top, and on the other side there's a cavity. So you want to squish it in that little cavity on both sides, and then you want to put grease in your hand and you like wedge it in with the bearings. You spin it, you wedge it, you spin it, you wedge it. There's probably videos you can find. It's not what you think, man. So super easy. All right, back to it. Okay, so before you put the rotor on, this is a good time to brake clean it off. After you put this on, so you don't get brake clean in with the bearings. You want to tighten it down all the way as much as you can till this barely moves, and then back it off till it slightly drags. Truthfully, you're going to end up driving it and then tightening it again and loosening it again, because once the bearings break in, you'll have play. So you don't have to do that. Most people don't, but it is a good idea to do. So yeah, so this is how tight I have mine. I mean, I don't know if you can tell the force, but you know, it doesn't free spin for long. It's got a little bit of drag on it. So yeah, we'll put these on. You have to white lithium grease these brass bushings that go on the backside that mount here and here. And then I put white lithium really like on the whole shaft minus the threads. and I put some in this little hole here too, so just so it all moves fluidly without being snagged up or anything. So okay, look at two. So they're both on. It looks exactly the same as it was before. No, just kidding. It's a little tiny. I had to change that spindle before I got the wind. And I got two. There's no point of just changing one. So this is the good one. I could have kept that one on there. This is the messed up one. You see how thin that is? Yeah, didn't feel comfortable. This was jacked, dude. That was probably from a loose outer bearing at one point. It wasn't the last one that I did, because the inside of the race, the bearing that was here, was fine. If it was because of this last change that I did, then it would have, the inside of the race would have been all jacked up from wiggling side to side, which is what caused that. So it must have been bad when I changed the brakes last time, and I was too broke to change it back then when I was in college, so I left it and it worked. But yeah, now I'm not broke and I'm not taking the chance. So yeah, it came out really good. Gotta get back to putting this all back together. So I still need to come up with the grommet, man. I gotta go to the junkyard. I think I might do that because I'm getting kind of tired. I've been out here all day, so doing double the amount of work. So coming up next time is this here. So this is the brake lines and the proportionate valve. So yep. See you guys later. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, man. Appreciate all the love like usual.